outside shots that allowed Nyla to kind of get open a little bit. I guess, what did you guys see from, I guess, their defense that allowed you to kind of open things up as far as kind of playing outside in?
Well, I thought they did an outstanding job of trying to spread the floor. For a lot of the first half, we stood on the perimeter. We'd make a pass and stand and watch, and you can't do that against their zone. You've got to cut. You've got to find the open areas of the floor. And there were multiple possessions that we did that and looked good. Got some easy buckets on the backside for Nyla. Kiki had two beautiful passes there in the first half to her. And then there were some moments offensively where we didn't look too good. But the one thing we did do is we continued to guard, and that was our point of emphasis the past 2 days, especially after the poor performance we had at NC State guarding in the first half. I thought our second half we defended extremely well, but we still make the same mistakes, and we've got to improve. Marissa Russell, I thought, did some really good things tonight. She pinches in on a ball side drive and gives up a wide open three. We're just fortunate tonight they missed it, but at NC State we did the same thing and they make it. We've got to get more disciplined in crunch time to be able to count on your teammates to know, hey, I can't come and pinch in a help here. The help's got to come from the weak side. If they make a layup, I'll give them a layup. We can't give them a three. So there's still some things we definitely have to work on, but I was really proud of this group. They competed, they played hard, and just a really, really gutsy basketball game.
Coach, to start the game, Notre Dame went 0 for 8. Can you talk about what you told your team in that timeout?
Well, no, we just guarded. We contested some shots. Now, we gave up a couple open ones, and I told them what I was concerned about was it was going to be a second game like NC State where you can't keep giving them open shots. They just missed them. And then we finally started to defend and make them shoot contested shots. And what happens is when, at NC State, as James said, their guard, if you read after the games, like the basket just got bigger and bigger and bigger. Because when you start making some, then it's like it don't matter where I'm shooting from, it's going in. Well, tonight I thought we defended, and that basket never got huge for anybody. So they had to make tough shots. And overall, just really, really pleased with how we guarded. Now, our free throw shooting was atrocious there. And, I mean, if I was one that was clanking them off the rim and the backboard, I'd get my tail in the gym and start making free throws because they're called free for a reason. They don't cost anything. I tell my own kid the same thing, so don't think I'm picking on my players.
Career high for Nyla. And this game sort of epitomizes the way your team, you had like 6, 7 players with 6 or more, a lot of balance, different players stepped up at different times.
No, thrilled. Yeah, absolutely thrilled. I thought Nyla worked her tail off on the offensive end of the floor, offensive rebounding. I think, we ended up with 13 second chance points, and I'm willing to bet she had at least 8 of them. And those were big baskets. She's getting better and better every game. We've still got to work on her confidence handling the basketball. Because if she can continue to get more confident, she's so quick that if she can get the ball at the free throw line, maybe a step or two out, and if she can start making those 15 to 18 footers, now she's going to be really hard to guard because she's so explosive. But she's a relentless worker, continues to go after rebound after rebound, and she came up with some big ones for us tonight.
Jeff, you've talked about the transfers, learning to play in these big games. Is it nice to have someone like Russell who you can call on off the bench, who has been through a lot of this with you?
Oh, no, it is. I mean, Riss did some, it's shocking to say, and if she was sitting here, I'd say it to her. She did some really good things on defense. She normally is allergic to that end of the court. But she was really, really good. She followed the scouting report, got on top of people, swam underneath. And it's not that she always came up with a steal, but she knocked a couple out of bounds that were going to be a layup, but she followed the scout and did it. And I was really proud of her. And the three she made in the corner was a huge shot for us. We've just got to all take care of the basketball better. We've got to play stronger with the ball and cut down our turnovers.
Jeff, I guess at a key juncture, you all were up by 6, and then you got something like 3 consecutive threes. That really gave you all a little bit of a cushion. Can you talk about just the confidence, like at a moment like that when they're playing that kind of zone to push you all out to knock down those kind of shots?
Well, they're challenging you to make them, but the thing you've got to do is you can't just look, stare, and pass, because then you aren't going to be open. You have to be willing to ball fake. You got to cut through. You got to fill behind. Just do some basic basketball, but that basic basketball is very effective against the zone. And then you've got to step up and make them, because we had a lot of open shots in the first half too, some wide open shots, and they just weren't going in. And that's where you've just got to stay confident. We kept telling them, take shots you practice. And then, I'm not afraid to say it. I'm like, hey, you got to make a shot. If you're a shooter, you eventually have to make one. Because I want them to know, like, there is pressure to it. I don't care what anybody says. There is some pressure. And if you spend all that time working on it, step up there and knock it down. And I thought in the second half, we shot it with more confidence and we shot it with a purpose. There's sometimes when we shoot it, we just throw it up there. But I thought we shot with a purpose in the second half. Now, the last minute and a half, 2 minutes, was atrocious. And we've got to work on that. We couldn't get into a set. We couldn't get into anything. Now, the only positive thing, like our one turnover we have, it's with like 1.2 seconds left, and it's a jump ball, which was going to be a shot clock violation. But then the jump ball was their ball, which then gives it back to us. So now the arrow's back in our favor. So if you're going to turn it over, at least we use the entire shot clock and then gain the jump ball. Honestly, there's things that I look at as a coach, and I'm like, okay, that's about as good as we could have gotten except for scoring. We use the entire shot clock, and then we flip the jump ball arrow. But if we step up and make free throws, we win by 10.
You mentioned taking care of the ball. There were 2 turnovers in the second quarter that you seemed particularly unpleased with. I guess just when you look at some of those, just kind of unforced, is it more of just them pressing or just
No, it's carelessness. It's not pressing. It's carelessness. When you take it and sling it with one hand off the dribble, that's careless. We talk to them about it all the time. Don't pass off the bounce. Don't pass off the dribble. Gather the ball, because, see, you can't bring it back. So you start to make a pass off the dribble and somebody shoots the passing lane, it's just a turnover, or you throw it out of bounds. It's the same thing. For Kiki's one in transition, when I thought we were about ready to blow the game out, like, here we go. All we talk about and preach every day in transition, if you don't have a layup, is jump stop. Drive down, jump stop, and then make the defender make a decision. If they're going to guard the one who's cutting, shoot it. If they press up and guard you, pass it. But see, if you try to pass on the move, if I play it right, and because I got a 50-50 shot, you're shooting it or you're passing it, and Hidalgo baited her in to throw the pass and went away. She thought she was going to contest, went away, steals it. Where if you jump stop, she can't do that. And then you're going to win that war. So that's what, just trying to get them all to understand, like, there's a reason for our madness. And, those are great teaching opportunities, and I'd rather teach it after a win than a loss.
It was a pretty physical game. In the fourth quarter, Kiki kind of walked off gingerly. That she had a big spill when she fell going for the ball. How's she feeling?
She's fine.
Okay.
She's tough. Yeah, she's a tough kid. You're always a little better after a win. It hurt more right now if you lost.
With games like this at home, it's nice to beat good teams on the road in national TV games, but to have them here on the road and to win and have your players on TV after the game, what does that do for the program? We've had a lot of that. But
no, it's great. It's awesome for us to be able to be on a nationally televised game, for everyone to see what our fans are like. Because the great thing about it is, we weren't a ton over our average at 9,400 tonight. Now, the 6 p.m. start's not great, but it's not terrible. And that's what I love about our fan base. And sure, would I like to get to 12 or 13? Of course I would. But the great thing about it is this is what we average. It doesn't matter who comes in here to play, they're coming. And that's what makes this place as special as it is. And then for us to be able to have our brand out there again on a national stage for recruits to see. It's like Holly said, after the game, what's it, our 14th, I don't know, 13th or 14th straight, a 20-win season. I mean, 14 straight. And it's a program that had how many before we got here? 3. It's the staff that we've been able to put together, the players, obviously, and it's just a culture that we have. And, I told Holly on the radio, on the TV, when she asked me about it, I said, listen, the players are what it's all about. And the relationships that we've built with these players over the years. Dana Evans, if she was sitting here right now, would tell you she did not like me all the time. Okay? She did not. But she knows I love her, and I was going to push her to be the best she could be. And to me, that's what it's all about. Some don't make it. Some do. And then there are some that don't like me maybe for about 6 or 7 years after they finish. And then they realize, now I know why he was doing what he's doing. I said it with Holly. I said, I treat them like they're my own kids. And my own kids don't like me all the time. It's called parenting. Sometimes you just can't let them do whatever they want. You've got to have some discipline. And people watch me coach, and they're like, God, he's crazy. He's yelling at him. He's screaming. Well, they don't know the relationship I have with them. Those kids out there, I love them, and I know they would do anything for me. So when I'm coaching them, it's not a personal. I'm trying to get everything, every ounce out of them. And that's what it's all about to me. And I don't really care what people say about me. I don't care what they say. I got enough friends. I don't need any more friends. Okay? So it's like, you can watch a game and you can yell and say, oh, look at that idiot. That's fine. I don't care. You don't know my kids. You don't know my players. And at the end of the day, I mean, I think we've done pretty good. I mean, do we want to win? At the end of the day, we want to win a national championship. That is everyone's ultimate goal. But I'm not going to apologize for what we've done here the past 17 years. I think there are many programs that would love to have the success that we've had. No, we're CL. Ah, dang CL, man. Text him. Did he? I think he thinks the game starts at 9. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate y'all.